What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option, and this is your look at the week ahead. And boy, did we have a banger of a week last week, but I think it portends to some very interesting trading next week. Let me jump right in. Today, I'm going to give you what I'm watching for in the S&P and the Qs, talk a little bit about the Russell. We'll look at the VIX, and I'm going to give you the 5 stocks I'm watching for next week. So let's dig in. The S&P blew higher. On Wednesday, we're down 80. We're up 60 on Thursday. We're up 52 on Friday. New all-time high. But we did have a pretty nice sell-off into the close. Why? We bounced off of 5,000 in the S&P 500 futures. I'm still a little nervous about the fact that vol's been going up on this rally. That's usually not a good thing. That gives me pause, right? We're 100 points higher from the 23rd, and implied volatility is up. That is usually not a good thing. I think we're setting up for at least a little bit of selling. Maybe nothing major, but a little bit of selling. Don't be surprised if we're down a little bit on Monday. QQQ, similar story. Was over 430 at one point. Did pull back. Vol like is up even more in the Qs. So in the Qs, on the 23rd, we closed 423, and vol was about 1480. Vol's a full point higher, and we're about $5 higher. That is a pretty rich increase in implied volatility. The story's not exactly the same with IWM. IWM, the volatility is climbing, but this thing is not going up. In fact, if anything, it's forming a wedge, and I think it's getting ready to break out. Is it going to break out higher or lower is the question. But I see a little bit of a wedge forming here. Get that drawing tool, trend line. I see a wedge forming here, and I think we're going to break out of this. Whether it's up or down, again, that is the big question. But that increase in volatility has me looking nervous. The other piece that I'm nervous about is VIX. Volatility was up a decent amount on Friday. VIX futures were up. Now, they closed off the highs. Believe it or not, the selling actually allowed VIX futures to pull back a little bit. The phenomenon of what we saw on Friday was what we will call call chasing. In call chasing, what you'll see is traders will sell their stock and buy calls. So they're taking money off the table and buying calls in case the stock keeps going up. The other thing is you have traders that are worried they missed the boat, jumping in and buying calls, a little YOLO effect. And so we saw implied volatility rallying because call prices were going up. We did not see a lot of demand for puts. So let's get back to the screen. The VIX futures are incredibly tight. We got about, call it 0.7% spread between the cash and the future. That is about 30 to 35 cents too tight. The VIX is acting like it's either going to tank or it's going to pop. We are going to get a move here, folks. So be aware. I think we're at a very interesting time. If I was going to put on a trade, if you're lucky enough to come in flat on Monday, all right, we open up mostly unchanged on Monday, I'd be looking at strangle prices because I think that's where there's some real money to be made, those strangle prices. For Friday, for Monday, the at the money strangle, the 49.55, 49.60 is only about $23. Think about that. We've moved 80, 60, and 52, and they're selling me Monday strangle for about $23. That is not properly priced, folks. I'm going to go in and buy that. In fact, basically, no matter how we move on Monday, I'm going to be looking at buying strangles for some time during that week. All right, let's keep going. Now, let's talk about the 5 stocks I'm watching. Stock number one is Apple. It absolutely got crushed Friday morning, managed to rebound with the whole market, but it's still in a downtrend. I'm wondering whether it's going to finally get an opportunity to really break some of these lower levels, that 170 level that we've been kind of gunning for. The next one we're watching is Meta. This is a big one. It was up just a giant amount on Friday, up over 20%. And now the question is, what does it do from there? We have a ton of earnings still heading our way for next week. One I'm watching is VF Corp. VF Corp, that's VFC. We saw a lot of speculative call buying in this one. So I'm really wondering what it's going to do next. Two Dow stocks that are reporting this week. It'll be more than 5. CAT is sitting at an right near an all, if not at an all-time high. Yeah, CAT's at an all-time high. They have earnings coming out. McDonald's not at an all-time high, but still very strong. And that they both report on Tuesday. Those are two names that are really important. And then I'm going to have two more for you. CCJ reports on the 8th. Look at the run this thing has had this year. It is really strong. I worry that the earnings could flip this thing. And finally, Ford. It looks like it's trying to break out. It's sitting at the 200-day moving average. I want to see if Ford is going to finally get out of this funk it's been in and completely take off. Last bonus name, IBM. Since its gap, it's been stuck in a range. It's bull flagging. I think it's going to pop. I'm looking for 195, maybe not next week, but by the end of the month. The implied volatility is cheap, so there's lots I can do there. All right, folks. So those are what I'm watching for this week. We're doing 0 DTE February. Leisha had a winner on Friday. And you can get up to 2 trades expiring that day, 0 DTE every single day. You get live sessions with me, access to a special Facebook group. And it's really active, really fun. It's a ton of education, and we're out there to make you some money. So what I'd like you to do is join me. You can click the link in this email, or you can call me 888-872-3301 to join. All right, folks, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. Have a good one.